Good morning, Cardinals. Wednesday, May 20th. Yes, Cardinal Day. So catching up your classes, asynchronous, you're finishing up. Remember that teachers have to verify all their grades by Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock. So if you're rallying to get a few things in, make sure that you're hitting that deadline with them. They should be able to be in communication with you and taking care of it. And as you continue your classes Thursday and Friday, but today is Cardinal Day, so perfect time to catch up. Let's get to a few questions that have come in today. One is around senior checkout. Hey, what if I can't make it this week? Well, we do have a makeup day, and that is next Tuesday of next week from 10 to 2. It could be that you're just working this week and you need to do that, or you're continuing with AP exams. So we know who those students are as well. But you do have Tuesday as well as a makeup day. So just relax. Don't fret or anything like that. But we had a good crowd yesterday, an even bigger crowd Tuesday, and today I expect that we'll have an even stronger one moving into Thursday and Friday. But it's moving very quickly. There was a question about the Booster Club because when I announced them, I said that the two returning students, Raquel Bosley and Cami Ferguson. Now, the way that it works is each year there are two juniors, like rising juniors, so current 10th graders rising up to 11th grade, that are elected, and then they do not have to run again for their senior year. They automatically make it for their senior year. There's only two spots, and so part of the reason for that when Booster Club decided that years ago was to kind of keep some continuity so that every year they weren't having to restart the whole thing, and so it keeps some continuity. And generally those two will generally serve as the president and vice president of Booster Club. Now, it's never been that way with Birdkeeper. Every year we bring in 8 seniors. That's just the way that tradition has been. Sometimes traditions don't always make sense, but they are what they are, and that's how we're continuing at this point. And then another question coming in about, hey, if grades are done, what does next week look like in terms of classes? So that's going to primarily be just kind of connection and enrichment opportunities. So maybe some cool things, and I know a number of cool things happening in classrooms that are just going to kind of continue and let the teachers check in and see kind of where they are. It's just primarily staying connected. We don't need to launch into the summer when we're disconnected even earlier. We want to stay connected to you, and we hope that you stay connected to us as well. I've talked about that many, many times. It's just important for all of us. With that, it is Wednesday, so we have Cardinal Cooking and the return of Chef Charlie. So let's go ahead and welcome him. Take it away.
Thank you, Michael. Chef Charlie here, back with Cardinal Cooking Time, and today we're going to be adding just another item to your menu for lunch, and that is making some tostadas. So let me tell you a little bit about how we do that. First of all, you're going to start off with some tostadas you can buy really at any grocery store. I like these from H-E-B. I've already started 2 of them here, but what you're going to do is just take your refried beans. Maybe you're a black bean person, maybe you're a pinto bean. I like refried though, and they go on very easily. You're just going to kind of spread it. Now, everybody has a different amount that they may like. Some people like a lot of beans. Kind of like with my jelly sandwich, peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I like it kind of spread out evenly, but without a ton of beans, but like a good layer there. So it's kind of covered and ready to go. Great thing is the beans, you can keep them in a container and then you can use them over and over. Make them for a young kiddo that may just be hungry. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add some cheese. Now this is where you can get really individualized, deciding whether or not you like a lot of cheese. A few people in my family like a lot of cheese. I like just a good amount, just kind of spread it around. Not too fancy, but still kind of make sure that it's enjoyable because you're going to want that to melt, and I'll take you through that here in just a moment. Of course, making sure before we start that your hands are clean and ready to go. Now, what I also do add, though, is this is where I get fancy, and you know I like to get fancy. So I'm going to go ahead and add some tomato. Now, some people like to add the tomato after it's heated. Not me. I like those juices to kind of fit in there and kind of move around and really accentuate the flavor. So I'm a risky guy though, so my friends call me Mr. Vegas, of course. But you're gonna go ahead and throw your tomatoes around. You can just this is like a pizza. You're just spreading them around, having a good time. Now there's a few things I'll put on afterwards, but for right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and take these and I'm gonna take them over to the microwave. Now for 3 of them, I like to do it for 2 minutes. Hashtag Prime. And let me make sure I remember how to do this. And then I do it for 2 minutes and we'll see how they come out and then add those final touches. I can smell the cheesiness getting ready here. You know what that sound means? Lunch is ready. Let's go ahead, take a look. As you can see, the cheese is melted. The tomatoes are kind of in there, so they're still a little warmed up, but those juices moving through there. Now this is where I like to add some lettuce, just kind of be generous with that, kind of on top. I like the coolness of the lettuce with the heat of the cheese and tomato, and just kind of spread that around. You can be generous, you can be light, whatever you're kind of looking for. It's just lettuce. And then I like to take a lime. Now some people, this is optional, but I like to take a lime and just kind of squeeze it, put a little lime juice in there, and just kind of add a little bit more. It's not really a street taco, but it makes me feel a little juicy. There you go. That's weak, I understand. But in any case, then you've got 3 tostadas, which is a good meal. The protein, of course, in the beans is always good. Cheese, lettuce, you've got some vegetables in there that make mom and dad happy, and the grain of the tortilla chip. So all in all, a good meal. That's it for Cardinal Cooking Time. This has been Chef Charlie. Back to you, Michael.
Already looking forward to lunchtime with that little tasty recipe. Easy to do, so want to check that out for sure. Good mix of everything, but that's tasty. And the lime really puts it right over the edge. With that, though, I believe that pretty much wraps up our morning announcements. Oh, one quick reminder from Yearbook is that there are only about, so 2 things with yearbooks. The yearbooks will be here. We believe they're arriving June 8th. So sometime that week, we're setting up a distribution schedule. If you did not order a yearbook, there are probably about 2 dozen left to be ordered. So you need to go to balfour.com like right now if you're thinking that you want to buy one, so that it'll be here. Otherwise, when we run out, we run out. There's not extra ones we've got in a car, in a closet, or anything like that. So you want to make sure you take care of that. Balfour.com for your yearbook. There's only about 2 dozen left that haven't been bought yet. So make sure that you do that. And then also seniors, when you're coming, make sure that senior survey is complete. I think 650 of you have already completed it, so by far the majority. Make sure that's done before you show up for checkout. It'll speed it up, save you a little bit of time, because it moves very quickly if you're in good shape. And with that, I believe that we'll start to bring the announcements to a close. Quick little trivia question, and you can give me an answer through the Ask Mr. McDonough link, which is right down here, or you can just think in your head and I'll give you the answer tomorrow. But Bellaire High School opened in 1955, of course, which means we are 65 years old. This is our 65th graduating class. In those 65 years, how many principals have we had at Bellaire High School? So check that out, see if you can figure it out, and share that with me. And maybe there's a prize in it for you. Maybe I'll give you something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Otherwise, those are our morning announcements. Remember to stay physically distant, but not social. Make sure that you're staying connected. Continue to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. And that wraps up our announcements. Thank you, and enjoy the day.